Freebirds, Terry Gordy and Michael Hayes. We watched their careers, I think, with a great deal of interest. Then a chasm existed between the two. They broke up, dissolved their friendship, and they went their separate ways. It was not too terribly long ago that something did occur outside the state of Georgia that have brought these two men back together. And then, on an earlier hour here of Georgia Championship Wrestling, something else occurred that has now made the return of Freebird and Fantasia an absolute fact. And I say that in deference to the fact that both Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy are joining me at this time. And, gentlemen, with your permission, I would like to go back to an earlier hour and relive the situation when Kevin Sullivan, who is still missing for some unexplained reason, did not appear.
I got an idea why he's missing. I got an idea. We all know why he might be missing, because of Buzz Sawyer, the big wada-headed boy.
Nonetheless, Buzz Sawyer and his partner were going to go up against Michael Hayes and Kevin Sullivan. Sullivan did not appear. They then very grandly offered Michael Hayes the opportunity to go out singly against the two of them.
And wasn't that nice of him?
Yeah, really. That was something indeed.
I really appreciated that, but I had a little surprise for you, didn't I?
Yeah. That's right. You know, Gordon, I'd just like to say, you know, I'd like to honestly say this has to be the happiest day of my life, you know. This is something I've waited for a long time. I know I've made a lot of mistakes, but after I received the thousands of letters and cards, I realized that I had made that mistake. But the birds are back and we're here.
And here's exactly what happened when Kevin Sullivan failed to appear and Michael Hayes was looking for a partner. Well, we're waiting now for Kevin Sullivan and Michael Hayes to appear in the ring. Super Destroyer is there, and as you can see, Buzz Sawyer also on hand. We're waiting now for Michael Hayes and Kevin Sullivan to appear. This match, of course, was signed. Well, Michael Hayes is approaching the desk.
Gordon, Kevin Sullivan still hasn't showed up. I don't know where he's at. I can't explain why he hasn't showed up.
I care about you explaining. You get right in this ring right now. You go get on somebody.
Look, I'll take either one of these guys on by myself, but man, I don't have...
Come on. You'll have to fight us both Gordon yourself. Come on.
Sullivan didn't... All right, can you send me a couple guys out here maybe to choose from as partners? You just wait a second.
Come on. Come on, sissy. Come on, so bad. You take both of us on. Come on.
Well, wait a second here. Michael, you can't take them both on, that's for sure. I don't know if you can find somebody who will...
All right, you want me to get a partner? You want me to get a partner?
Hey, come on.
All right, Michael Hayes is left to try and find somebody to take the place of Kevin Sullivan. So, there you see Buzz Sawyer and... Wait a minute! That was Terry Gordy! That was Terry Gordy who just charged the ring with Michael Hayes. And the Freebirds are back in action. Fantasia has struck a bolt of lightning here as Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy and brother, look at that teamwork. Look at that teamwork. Terry Gordy and Michael Hayes. Look at this. Wow. Buzz Sawyer hurtled from the ring. The Super Destroyer leaves. And they have beat a hasty retreat indeed. But we've got Freebird Fantasia. And, well, this now really... This is certainly going to require a great deal of explanation. I was going to interview Terry Gordy, but I guess I'd better interview both of these men right now.
Gordon, this has got to be the happiest moment in my life. No, people don't know it, but this man 6 weeks ago saved me, and he offered his hand in friendship, and I was too proud to shake his hand and admit we had made a mistake a long time ago. I'm not too proud now, brother.
Hey, brother, I knew when you come up and said, Terry, I knew what you want. I know. There's no doubt about it, baby. The birds, the Freebirds are back together. If you didn't hear it, I'll say it again. The Freebirds are back together.
You know, Gordon, I was going to show a film earlier today to explain and show just what he did for me, because I wanted to come out publicly and tell the whole country, tell everybody here that I wanted him back as a partner. But when I was confronted with the situation, I still don't know what happened to Kevin. But I was thinking, what can I do? I knew they was going to beat me up if I went in by myself, and it hit me, baby. When I went to ask you, I didn't know if you was going to punch me or not. But, brother, I guarantee you this in front of everybody out there. We are back together to stay.
You said that right, brother. It's like this, Gordon. At one time, we was the national tag team champions, and the only reason that we're not the national tag team champions today is because of ourselves. It's not because of nobody else. Now, I know a lot of people stood out here and bragged and boast about how they've been this champion and that champion. Well, let me tell you something. There's not a horse that can't be rode, and there's not a man that can't be thrown.
Whoa!
If you ever run across a man that don't think that he can be thrown, bring him to us.
Can we roll the film? I want everybody to watch this film.
Well, yeah, let's explain this a little bit, though. There was a problem, and it was this man, indeed.
Yeah, it was me against Terry. It was the final match, the Fantasia Gamble. And if you just roll the film, it's self-explanatory.
Fair enough. Let's take a look.
As you see, we're both down, and there comes the sheep herders in. They're there, and then the guy come in, he pulled out a pair of scissors and want to cut my hair. I'm not unconscious. I ain't got no idea what's going on.
Gordon, you know, this is right here. This is no sport. You don't see this happen in football, baseball, or anything else. You know, I don't mind taking a man right in the middle of that ring and humiliating him like they're supposed to be humiliated, because that's the way I know to do my job. But the thing about it is, Gordon, there's no sense of somebody trying to embarrass and humiliate somebody like these guys did right here. There's just no sense in it.
Strenuously argued. Gordon, this time, as you can see, I had no idea what was going on. I was at their mercy. And this is where Terry, when I saw this film, I couldn't believe it. This is when he showed he still had feelings for me. And I'll tell you, it was the proudest moment.
Well, of course, you two have been...
Now, you look at that. He has gone wild on 3 men. That's a nice... Those are tag team champions. There's Joe LeDuc, a strong man. And look at that. Head up, baby. Boogie.
That's what it's all about right there, man. When it comes down to something like that, I know how to boogie. I know how to get down, and I know how to get nasty. I can get nasty with the nasties. You know what I'm saying, Gordon? That's how I know how to do business, is get in there and treat somebody like they would want to treat me.
Well, you're giving us certainly a classic example of that right now. And, of course, when you did see this, Michael, you began to realize that old friendship, because you two were as brothers.
Yes, we were. You know, and it's took a very big strain on our family. But it's over with now, and I just want to make this clear to everybody out there, Jack. From now on, Roddy Piper and the rest of them, they're talking about gang wars. Daddy, the gang is back together. And if you want a gang war, we were brought up fighting gang wars, Jack. And we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep walking and talking right over everybody back to the top where the Freebirds belong 1 year ago today.
Brother, you know, Gordon, he couldn't have said it no better. Just like Mike said, we was brought up on the poor side of town, Daddy. That's where we come from. That's how we know how to act.